Bank heist, alright, start talking. Sonia, I swear I don't know anything. I have nothing to do with it. Why won't you believe me? I slammed the table, because you do. You did all of this. You were the freaking master player in that heist, Aaron. You know this just as much as I do. Aaron fell back. Okay, fine. Yes, it was me. Yes, I conducted the heist. You happy? Now what? Are you going to tell the cops? Throw me to jail? Please. As if anyone would believe a little cop like you over a damn billionaire. Oh yes, they will. I leaned in, because I have something you don't. With that I got up and left his house. I went straight home and hit the shower. My name is Sonia, and yes, I am a cop. Aaron used to be a good friend who'd help with cases, until a week ago. When I found out what he was truly doing. He was the main player in a grand heist, and because of him millions of innocent people are paying the costs. And all for money. Even if it's the last thing I do, I will give justice to them. Now the only question is, how? The one good thing is I do have a lead, and I have a lot of alliances I can use. Now all I need is proof. The next morning I wake up early and head directly to a colleague's house. She opens the door immediately. Sonia, she asks confused. Lillian, I need help urgently. She frowned. This is about the heist, isn't it? Sonia, you have so many other cases. Why focus on one that isn't even yours? I grunted in frustration. Lillian, I don't have time for this. And you know the answer already. Can you help me or not? Lillian sighed. What do you need? Information. I need to know anyone who's working with Aaron. I would do it myself, but since you're the one with best access to the files, is tomorrow morning fine? No. I need it sooner. Can you do by 6 today? Lillian thought for a moment. I suppose I can, thank you. Lillian gave me a slight nod, and I got up and left. I went to my office, and went over scanning some codes for a different case, but no matter what I did I couldn't stop thinking about the heist. This wasn't just work, this was personal. No one knows this but my best friend, a simple veterinarian, lost her home because of this ominous heist. She's now homeless with her daughter because she doesn't have enough money to pay off the rent. I closed the file that I was scanning, and got out the other one about the heist. Then, just then, I got an idea. The heist happened in the top-rated bank, and there has to be CCTV cameras there, right? Meaning if I can get into the system. That will make for solid proof, and that along with the files. I may be able to close this off. I instantly got up and rushed out of the office and into the car. I quickly drove to the temporary replacement of the bank and walked into it. I approached an open desk, and said, I need to speak with the manager. The person behind the desk started, that's N-, but quickly shut his mouth after I held up my police badge. Just one of the few benefits, I thought. Instead he rephrased his sentence. Oh of course ma'am, just a minute. He dialed a number quickly and a few minutes later, the manager was walking this way. Hello, we can discuss anything in my office. Follow me, he said. We walked over to a room in the far right corner. After I sat down, he asked me, now officer, how may I help you with? However, as you know about the previous incident, we may not have everything you're looking for. I cleared my throat. Actually, that's exactly what I'm here for. You have CCTV cameras everywhere. I need to get into the control room, it's for the case. I hope you understand. He looked confused for a moment before saying, oh. Yes, let me take you there now. We walked over to the small room which was on the second floor. The person in charge of it was also there. The manager told him, we need access to the CCTVs from April 22nd. I filled in. The boy nodded. After he got it up, he left the room after the manager told him to. I sat down, and played the footage. Until I paused it at 1:26 p.m., there was a man. He looked pretty normal except for the item he was carrying. When I looked closer, I knew it was a bomb. I took a picture of this before asking the manager, where can I find the bomb found? He hesitated for a moment before saying, it's with the forensic department. I got up, thank you. With that I left the bank, and headed straight for the department. I got a friend, Cole, on the line. Hello, Cole, I need a lawyer for a case. There was a pause on the phone before he said, by when? Today 8 p.m. latest. Okay, I'll take care of it. I'll send you the address, meet me 7 sharp. He hung up before I could respond. When I finally reached the forensic department, I approached someone I had acquainted recently, and told him what I was looking for. Okay. Go to Ann for it. She's over there. She pointed to a woman nearby.
Future on hand, hurry up Anwesha. We'll be late and I cannot afford to miss Ma's preaching on your birthday. You're stepping into your teenage years. Asma screamed at her daughter, as she hurriedly packed some documents into her handbag. Anwesha came from her room, sulking and rolling her eyes. It was not only about waking up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning, all the more so on her birthday, that bothered Anwesha. She wouldn't wake up any other day, at any time for Ma's preaching. Ma meant mother, but Asma wasn't referring to anyone's biological mother. Instead, she was referring to Ma Savitri. Ma Savitri was a religious ascetic who only dressed in saffron and read holy books, sang hymns, and listened to devotional songs and performed rituals with incense and light. None of these bothered Anwesha. What bothered her was Ma Savitri read horoscopes. Worse yet, Asma believed them all. Asma parked the two-wheeler and tiptoed quietly to the venue along with Anwesha. The session had begun. Ma Savitri was seated at the center of the stage, talking about a chapter from the Bhagavad Gita, the holy book for the Hindu religion. There seemed to be about 50 people in the audience. Asma and Anwesha seated themselves where the seats were available. Asma paid attention in full swing to what was being told and immersed herself in the knowledge shared. On the other hand, Anwesha could hardly take it. In her mind, she ridiculed all these people. She had nothing against their religion or their belief system. She simply loathed the fact that Ma Savitri charged a dime for predicting the future. Her predictions worried people endlessly, robbed them of their present, made them indebted to her forever. This was Ma Savitri's business model that has worked in her favor for trapping her blind followers. The spiritual discourse took nearly an hour and a half to complete. The other half hour was spent in followers networking and making connections. Anwesha wished she could run away, because the next 1 hour was exclusively reserved for believers who wanted to have their horoscopes read. Asma was there for this hour. She wanted to ensure Anwesha's horoscope hadn't changed after 13 years. On the day Anwesha was born, Ma Savitri had predicted the stars have aligned on this auspicious day to indicate that your daughter will lead a wealthy life. She'd stay in a bungalow and be loved by all for her benevolent deeds and earn a handsome stipend. All these only if you name her from the alphabet. Bear in mind that her name also has to end with a. That, my child, will signify a full circle. Asma didn't want a single thing of the above prediction to change. She needed to be reassured, and hence she was here. For the same reason, Anwesha didn't even have a pet name. She was always called Anwesha in its full entirety. When it was their turn to meet, Asma acted like she was starstruck. Ma Savitri held out her arm, invited them wholeheartedly. Hello Asma, it's so nice to see you. How have you been, my child? I have been good, Ma. How have you been? Likewise, Asma. I see our Anwesha is here too. All grown up. Oh, how little she was when I last held her in my arms. It's a delight seeing you, Anwesha. You don't come here very often. Thank you, replied Anwesha half-heartedly. So, what can I do for the charming mother-daughter duo? Asma said. Ma, it's Anwesha's 13th birthday. Please check if there's a defect in her horoscope. As she spoke, she took out the documents that were in her bag. Anwesha's birth certificate, birth chart, fingerprints were all handed out to Ma Savitri. Oh, happy birthday, dear Anwesha, you've turned into a pretty teenager, headstrong at that. Let's see if there's something in your path for a wealthy life. Ma Savitri read through one document after the other, fully focused. She occasionally did some calculations and went back and forth between the pages. She then spent some time looking at the document she had predicted. Asma had done an exemplary job in preserving the document. Ma Savitri looked up and said, in my tenure of service, I have never seen such consistency. Anwesha's future is safe, secure. I still stand my word. The word that I had told 13 years ago. Stay bereft of worries, my child. I pray for you. With a huge sigh of relief, Asma took Ma Savitri's leave. On the drive back home, Anwesha shouted, Mom, stop. Just stop. I don't get it. Why do you follow her blindly? I'm even disgusted to call her Ma. She dupes people in the name of prediction and does no good. We are nowhere near her thoughts, she doesn't care. In every visit of ours, I am more convinced about the business gimmick of her. She said my horoscope hasn't changed one bit because she wanted to secure our visits every year, should anything go wrong in my behavior. She missed the business from our end when we didn't go all these 12 years. She knows teenagers are hard to handle, she doesn't.